Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurfah Rahimah binti Abdul Rahim. So I'll start the presentation with my part, which is background study. Students nowadays spend far too much time playing online games. Inappropriate use of online games leads to problems such as distraction and addiction. Online games are used by students to release stress, but excessive use can lead to poor abilities, focus issues, and poor academic performance. There are both positive and negative implications to online gaming. But students must comprehend and practice responsible internet and online gaming use. Gaming is fun, social way to pass the time. Students should use gaming to build cooperation abilities as well as mental activation skills. In order to stay safe and have a good gaming experience, they should also be aware of the dangers. Once they were aware of the online race, they will take proper precautions and make wise decisions about when to stop playing online games.
Okay, next, let's take a look on research objective, research questions, and research hypothesis.
There are 5 objectives in this study. First one is to identify the significance between addictions towards online games and the academic performance. Second, to determine whether time spent playing online games affect academic performance. Third, to measure whether a faculty affects addictions toward online games. Fourth, to investigate relationship between gender difference and the time spent playing online games. And the last is to evaluate difference between gender on who have better performance in academic.
Next, for research questions. Number 1, is there any significant exist between addictions towards online games and the academic performance? Number 2, does time spent playing online games affect academic performance? Number 3, does faculty affect addictions toward online games? Number 4, what is the relationship between gender differences and time spent playing online games? Number 5, is there any difference between gender on who have better performance in academic? Next, research hypothesis. Hypothesis number 1, H0, there is no significant exist between addictions toward online games and the academic performance. H1, there is significant exist between addictions toward online games and the academic performance. Hypothesis number 2, H0, there is no difference in mean of time spent playing online games. H1, at least 2 means are different. Hypothesis number 3, H0, there is no difference in mean of faculty. H1, at least 2 mean of faculty are different. Number 4, H0, gender differences and time spent playing online games are independent. H1, gender differences and time spent playing online games are not independent. Hypothesis number 5, H0, there are no significant gender differences who have better performance in academic. H1, there are significant gender differences who have better performance in academic.
Hi, my name is Nurfah Sharini binti Rosli. Okay, for the problem statement, due to pandemic, a total lockdown has been implemented where citizens are not allowed to leave their house unless it is an emergency. Due to this thing, most of the youngsters, teenagers, and students are playing online game at their house to fill their leisure time. They do not play it because of some of seriousness, but they just want to feel relief. During school hours, most of the students will tend to feel stressed due to lots of schoolworks. And through playing it, it will relieve their stress. However, there will be pros and cons when we are playing online game among the students. Online games can develop addiction when we are always play it without control it, and it will give an impact toward an academic performance, either good or bad.
Next, significance of the study. This study was carried out among UiTM Arab students. From the research, we can determine that the number of respondents who utterly understand the impact of online games on study performance. Respondents will be aware of online gaming and will thoroughly review their performance when answering the questionnaire. We also, as researchers, also can determine the relationship between online game addiction and academic performance. From the questionnaire, we are able to know that respondents who overly addicted to online games, they experience a variety of effects on their academic performance. We also able to know that respondents should divide their time wisely between playing online games and ensuring that their study performance is always good. Last but not least, the study discover how these online games affect students' academic performance. From this, we can find that playing online games has a variety of effect on students.
Limitation of the study. This study was conducted among all UiTM RO students per list. First, as a researcher, we limit the respondent, which is every respondent from every faculty. It was quite hard for us to reach them since we have a pack of classes. So, to overcome this situation, we set the time to distribute the questionnaire to make sure from all the faculty have their own respondent. Okay, the second one is respondent honestly while answering the questionnaire, because some of them will answer the questionnaire carelessly. So, as a researcher, we will explain it before them answer it. For example, we will explain the objective of this research to make sure they understand about this project.
For literature review from the journal titled The Effect of Internet Gaming and Social Media Use on Physical Activity, Sleep, Quality of Life and Academic Performance among University Students in Hong Kong. The objective research from this journal. The first one is to investigate how internet gaming and social media impact on physical activity, sleep quality, quality of life, and academic performance of university students in Hong Kong. And number two, to investigate how physical activity and sleep associate with quality of life and academic performance of university students in Hong Kong. So, basically, the finding highlighted how internet gaming and smartphone addictions often have a negative impact on academic performance, sleep, physical activity, and physiological quality of life. The findings may provide as guidance for healthcare professionals as they design and assess and interventions to manage a particular form of internet or smartphone overuse.
For literature review, the title of my literature review is Online Gaming Impact on Academic Performance and Social Behavior of Students in Polytechnic University of the Philippines Laboratory High School. And the author of this literature review is Dennis O. Damrick and Jennifer G. Castillo in the year of 2018. And the objective of this research is to find out how online games affect their students' intellectual capacity in relation to their academic performance and social behavior. And then the second one is to find out how these online games affect the students' intellectual capacity in relation to their academic performance and social behavior. So from the literature review, the conclusion is playing online games does not affect their grades badly because they know how to limit themselves. They know they need to control themselves in order to function well in their class. That is why they only play games during vacation and weekends with a lot of the time compared to when they have classes. Even though they play online games, they know how to socialize well and they can perform very well when it comes to academic performance. However, it is inevitable not to play games even for half an hour, especially when they are accustomed to it. Therefore, it is just a matter of discipline.
For population, the students at University Technology Mara UiTM Arau Place who are playing online games. For example, all students in UiTM Arau which divide into 7 faculty which are Faculty of Business and Management, Faculty of Sport Science and Recreation, Faculty of Applied Science, Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Science, Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying, Faculty of Plantations and Agro-Technology, and lastly Faculty of Accountancy. So sample size 10 students of each faculty. So for the total respondent is 70 students who are playing online games in UiTM Arau.
Then we move to sampling design. We use non-probability sampling method, which is quota sampling. 70 of the students in UiTM Arau are our respondents. And since there are 7 faculty in UiTM Arau, a total of 10 students of each faculty will be the respondents for this study.
Data collection method. In this research, we use primary data collections, which is the process of collecting original data according to objective, research question and research hypothesis. This research, we decided to use structured questionnaires since response is more accurate rather than Google form. There is no influence, no gesture, no facial expression and no interruption from the interviewer. So the respondent can answer it at his own convenience without having any interruption. This method will assure the accuracy of the response. Besides that, this research was conducted around UiTM Arau Student Place, which is a strategic location for us to collecting the data. More respondents can answer the questionnaire since the cost of this method is not costly.
Data preparations consists of 3 parts, which is Part A is demographic profile, Part B is addition to its online game, and Part C is academic performance. In demographic profile, it consists of 7 questions, which is age, gender, current semester, faculty, GPA, CGPA, and time spending. For the types of data, all of the 7 questions is numeric. And for the variable label, it is age of respondent, gender of respondent, current semester of respondent, faculty of respondent, GPA of respondent, CGPA of respondent, and time spending. As for age and GPA and CGPA, the scale of measurement is ratio. And as for gender, current semester, and faculty, it is nominal. But as for time spending, it is interval. In Part B, addictions towards online game, it consists of 15 questions, and all of the 15 questions, the types of data is numeric. For variable label, it is online game all day long, time play increase, run away from problems, fail to reduce times, comfortable playing, relationship with others stronger, lose sleeping time, new friends, causing harm to yourself, increasing self-confidence, becomes a professional player, achieve higher rank, feel leisure time, peer pressure, and hobby. And as for scale of measurement, all of the 15 questions is ordinal. For part C, which is academic performance, it consists of 15 questions, and 15 questions is the type of data is numeric. And as for variable label, it is do well in class, participate actively in discussion, participate in class activities, listen attentively to lecturers, play during busy time of study, prefer playing than study, forgot to study due to playing, feel relaxed playing than studying, missed class, lazy to go to class, enough time to revise the study, CGPA increase, arrange time properly, feel energetic, and can answer the exam well. And as for scale of measurement, all of the 15 questions is ordinal.
For data analysis, research objective number 1, addition towards online game and the academic performance. We use Pearson correlations. For number 2, the relationship between time spent playing online game and the academic performance. ANOVA, we use ANOVA. For the third one is the relationship between faculty and addictions towards online game. We use ANOVA. And the fourth one is gender differences in time spent playing online game. We use chi-square test of independence. And the last one is gender differences who have better performance in academic. We use independent sample test.
Next, I'm going to explain about analysis descriptive of demographic profile. For each of respondent from the collected data, there are 42.9% are from 19 years old, 41.4% are from 20 years old, 11.4% are from 21 years old, and 4.3% are from 22 years old. For gender of respondent, from the collected data, there are 62.9% are from male students, while the rest are 37.1%, which are from female students. As for current semester of respondent, from the collected data, there are 44.3% are from semester 3 students, while for semester 5 students, there are 52.9%. As for semester 4 and semester 7 students, both of them are 1.4%. As for faculty of respondent, from this table, all faculties take part in this research, which is 10 respondents from each faculty, which leads to 14.3%.
GPA respondent. From the collected data, 7.1%, which represent 5 students who achieve GPA from 2.5 until 2.98. They are 8.4%, which represent 6 students who achieve GPA of 3 until 3.2. There are 22.7%, which represent 60 students who achieve GPA of 3.21 until 3.4. There are 21.5%, which represent 15 students who achieve GPA of 3.41 until 3.6. There are 20%, which represent 14 students who achieve GPA of 3.61 until 3.8. Lastly, there are 20%, which represent 14 students who achieve GPA 3.81 until 4. CGPA of respondent. From the collected data, 1.4%, which represent 1 student who achieve CGPA of 2.61 until 2.8. There are 5.6%, which represent 4 students who achieve CGPA of 2.81 until 3. There are 7%, which represent 5 students who achieve CGPA of 3.01 until 3.2. There are 19.6%, which represent 14 students who achieve CGPA of 3.2 until 3.4. There are 21%, which represent 15 students who achieve CGPA of 3.41 until 3.6. There are 23.8%, which represent 17 students who achieve CGPA of 3.61 until 3.8. There are 19.6%, which represent 14 students who achieve CGPA of 3.81 until 4. How much time respondents spend on playing online game? From the collected data, there are 40% students who spend 0 hours and less than 2 hours on playing online game, while 35.7% students who spend 2 hours and less than 4 hours on playing online game. Next, 18.6% students who spend 4 hours and less than 6 hours on playing online game. And lastly, 5.7% students who spend 6 hours and above on playing online games.
The first one is addictions towards online games and academic performance. For this graph, we use the method of Pearson. Step 1, hypothesis. The H0 is there is no significant difference between addictions towards online games and the academic performance. And the H1 is there is significant difference between addictions towards online games and the academic performance. For test statistic, the p-value is 0.00 and the critical value is alpha is equals to 0.01. And the decision rule is reject H0 if p-value is less than alpha. The decision and conclusion is reject H0 since 0.00 is lesser than 0.01. We can conclude that there is a significant difference between additions towards online games and the academic performance.
Time spent playing online game affect study performance. We use ANOVA to test this relationship. Step 1, hypothesis. H0 is there is no difference in mean of time spent playing online game. H1, at least 2 means are different. Step 2, test statistic. So the p-value is 0.773. Step 3, critical value. So the critical value is alpha equals to 0.05. Step 4, decision rule. Reject if p-value less than alpha. Step 5, decision and conclusion. So we fail to reject h0 since 0.773 is more than 0.05. As we can conclude that there is no difference in mean of time spent playing online game. Hence, most of the students perform their study even playing online game for a longer period of time.
Next is faculty affect addictions towards online game. And for this graph, we use the method of ANOVA. First thing first, hypothesis. The H0 is there is no difference in mean of faculty, and the H1 is at least two means of faculty are different. The test statistic is p-value is equals to 0.02 and the critical value is alpha is equals to 0.05. The decision rule is reject H0 if p-value is less than alpha. And lastly, the decision and conclusion is reject H0 since 0.02 is lesser than 0.05. We can conclude that there are two means are different. Hence, faculty has influenced addictions towards online games.
The differences in time spent playing online game. So we use chi-square to determine the result. So the first one is step 1 is hypothesis. H0 gender differences and time spent playing online game are independent. H1 gender differences and time spent playing online game are not independent. Step 2 test statistic. P-value is equal to 0.251. We get the value is from the SPSS. So, step 3, critical value, alpha is equal to 0.05. Step 4, decision rule, reject H0 if p-value is less than alpha. So, step 5, decision and conclusion. Since p-value is more than alpha, we fail to reject H0. Therefore, gender differences and time spent playing online games are independent. We can conclude that time spent playing online games are not related to gender.
Gender differences who have better performance in academic. This table, we use independent sample t-test. First, we have to do Levin's test. Step 1, hypothesis. H0 variance is equal. H1 variance is not equal. For the test statistic, p-value equal to 0.008 and the critical value alpha equal to 0.05. Decision rule is reject H0 if p-value less than a. Decision and conclusion, reject H0 if p-value less than a. Since 0.008 is less than 0.05, variance are not equal. For the independent t-test, the hypothesis is H0, there are no significant gender differences who have better performance in academic. H1, there are significant gender differences who have better performance in academic. The test statistic is p-value equal to 0.031 and the critical value is alpha equal to 0.05. Decision rule, reject H0 if p-value less than a. Decision and conclusion, reject H0 since 0.031 less than 0.05. Therefore, there are significant gender differences who have better performance in academic. For the conclusion, the respondents, or more accurately, the students of UiTM Arab Perlis, are not having problem in achieving good academic performance, even though they play online game because they manage to balance their time to study and play online games. We hope that students who play online games would set limits for themselves and stick to them in order to retain their academic performance. So that is all from us. Thank you.